Okay, so this is a morning session, and I thought I would do some work leading to the triangle and try and explain some of the finer points of some of the poses as we go along. So I'd say it was beginner to intermediate level. At some point I will do an advanced level yoga class, but often that's assuming that you know the poses. So let's start. So coming onto our mat, let's just do some hip rotations before we begin, just in case you're a bit stiff. And then from side to side. And then the opposite way. Lovely. And then separate the feet a bit and just gently, nothing dramatic, going down from side to side comfortably. And you can inch a little bit further. And then staying down one side and just seeing how that feels. And then staying down the other side and seeing how that feels. Okay. Good. Coming up. And let's just stretch the arms a bit and the shoulder joint. Okay, look the other way. We'll just repeat that. Okay, and then rotate backwards, standing, and forwards. Good, and then clapping. You can do the standing. If you're getting tired, you can kneel down. Okay, and then try and clap front and back. Okay, and round, and round, and round, and round. And then actually a little bit of neck work, because I'm always a little bit nervous the neck is stiffening up. So from side to side. Okay, and then take the hand and move the head over. So careful you're not doing that. You're not crunching the back of the discs of the neck, okay? So coming down sideways. Lovely. And then the other way, coming down sideways. Should feel, if you can keep that shoulder down, it should feel like a lovely stretch. Okay, and then do our usual owl. And you might hear it crickle and crackle in the neck. You can slow this down if you like. I'm just sometimes conscious that half an hour is very short. And I don't want to spend too long warming up. And then chin to chest. Look up. Chin to chest. Look up. Chin to chest. Look up. Shoulders. Around. And flop the hands. Call this the flying seagull. Lovely. So you've got finger and wrist work in there, and then rotate the hands and take the hands up higher as you do that, and really right up to the top. So if you're still standing, that's great. We're going to get back up to standing in a minute, but I'm doing the easy version, sitting or kneeling. Okay, good. Wiggle, 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 all the way down. Stretch, stretch, stretch forward. Nice stretch forward. Nice stretch to the sides. Try and touch walls that are just moving out of your reach. And then breathe out and come down. Whew, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah, quite strenuous. So one of the things about the triangle is that Trikonasana, tri in Sanskrit is 3, and kona is angle, and asana is pose. So the 3 angled pose, and it has tricky areas. It's the knees, it's also endurance, and it's alignment of the hips. So in the original days, back in the 60s when I started, And yes, that was only last week. Back in the 60s, they used to teach you to do the triangle against a wall, your heels against the wall, turn this foot, and then go into the pose. But this compromised the knee joints hugely. So now the advice is that you stand with your feet parallel to each other, and then come closer so you can maybe see better. Say about there. Let's move this. So you put the heel of one foot into where the heel starts to become the instep, like so. So it's almost like a ballerina position, okay? So you do that, and then that's the line forward that you want to take. And of course, the gap in between depends on how tall or how small you are. If you're only sort of 6 years old, it's going to be smaller. And if you're 6'3", it's going to be bigger. So I tend to say it's your leg length, the gap between. And then let's see this back foot over here. Let's just pull that in a little. Can you see? So if this is 12 o'clock, that's now pointing at maybe 9:30 over there. Okay, and then what we do is we look at this knee joint and we bend that knee over the second toe. Okay, so if I'm doing this forward so you can see, we're bending this knee over that second toe down there. So it's not going that way and it's not going out that way. And all, because that's a hinge joint, but it's a special hinge joint, it can wobble around. We don't want it to. We want to protect it and do just a hinge joint. So if you've got that, that's great. And you think, well, triangle doesn't have a bent knee. But it's all about hip positioning. So when you bend the knee over the second joint, take the hands into the hips. So you'll feel, and you can probably see on the video, that my hips aren't straight against the wall. Look, when I bend the knee in the right position, my hips are at that angle. Okay? Yeah? The foot there needs to be, at the moment, sorry, I've got a student in my room and she has her foot out. It needs to be here in front of the other foot. That's it, that's great. So, with that knee bent, we've got the hips here. Yep, so they're not straight on, they're here. And then keep the hips exactly there, straighten the front leg. So this is the hip and leg position for Trikonasana, protecting the knee and actually putting the pelvis into the right position. Ta-da! So then we elongate the arms, okay? And I would actually warn people, probably they are too squashed here, pelvis to rib cage. So you can lift up. See how much? I got another few inches in there. Nice long abdominal area. Lovely and long. Then keep it long, but then drop the shoulders, but don't drop this belly area. And lift that rib cage up and over a bar, which imaginary bar, it's about here, up and over, so you don't suddenly squash, okay? You're lifting up and over as you breathe out. And let's just go to the knee. This hand, if it's getting tired, you can rest on here for a moment. So just look down at that knee. Check, knee direction, yep, that's fine. So we're now moving a little bit deeper. So if you have blocks, position them around your foot. You can position them on the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. At the moment, you can have 2 or 3 blocks, or you can stay holding on at the knee. The other hand comes up in line, so we have this nice perpendicular from fingers right through, and you can experiment. What we don't want is you to stretch so much it hurts in here. All right, so there we go, into the triangle. And that's the normal triangle, and you look up. Right? So breathing into that Trikonasana. So I've got a triangle between the legs, a triangle with me between my right arm and my right leg. And as we stretch up, we have another triangle forming between my hip and my hand. Okay. And then if you wish to go into a theta Trikonasana, a theta means sort of stronger or more intense, taking the hand over the ear. And this is where a lot of people make the mistake of bending the shoulder forward. So let me show you straight on. You stay in position, they come and they do that. All right. When actually, what I'd like them to do is keep that hand well back over the ear, and you can look forward to the opposite wall, or you can look up through your hand. So you can see now why it's quite strenuous. You can stay in this pose for up to 3 minutes, but I wouldn't recommend it. And you can also bend this knee slightly if it's feeling a bit tight here. Okay. And then when you've had enough, which is probably about now, bend that front knee. This is a safe way to come out of it. Hold on to your hip. Take your right elbow to your right knee. Push and come up. Okay, and then shake out the leg, because that leg will be feeling like it's stretched a lot. Lovely. And then we'll do the other side. So here we go. Remember, it's that ballet position. Find the heel into where the heel starts the instep. Draw a line out. Bring that back foot in slightly. Okay, bend the knee over the second toe. Check the hips. Okay, keep the hips there as you straighten. Lift up. Expand from the hips to the rib cage, nice open internal organs. Breathe in, lift from the crown of the head. Breathe out, up and over the imaginary bar. And then finding your comfortable place. Okay, and remember, it's not a competition. It really isn't a competition. You don't have to get down to the floor. If you have blocks, they're really helpful. If you want to hold on to the shin, that's helpful, or the knee. Okay, so comfortably in the pose and looking up if you can. Another problem people have is that this hand comes forward. So trying to keep it in line with the lower arm, nice and perpendicular, not too far back either, looking up. And it does start to feel like hard work. So keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. And then you can breathe out. And if you wish, you stay there or go into the more intense Trikonasana. And then where you know that you're in this one properly is there's a stretch that occurs here. So you can just go, oh, just leave this hand hanging around. But it's meant to be trying to touch a wall further away from you. Really trying to reach that wall. And then you'll feel the stretch here. Okay. And you can look up through that upper arm. It's hard to talk and balance and do the pose. Okay. Or you can look forward. That's up to you, depending on how your balance is. And again, breathing into it. And remember, 20 seconds is enough. 10 seconds if you're a beginner. To come out of it, let's protect the body. So bend the knee, place the elbow on the knee. Okay, push and come up and turn the feet to the front. Okay, so relax for a moment and just swing the arms, and then we need to swing the legs, shake them out. So that's a sort of intensive on the triangle. Hope you enjoyed it. Hands to the knees, so let's protect these knees and just turn them a little. So this is really without damaging them, you're just exploring how the knee joint is doing in there. And if you've got poorly knees, maybe don't do this. Okay, so it's just to explore. Is that knee joint lubricated well? Is it functioning well? Is there any pain? Okay, and then bring the feet hip joint here. That's the hip joint, not your breadth across here, but hip joint width apart. And then just slide, 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 slide into a gentle forward bend. If you don't like forward bends, you can stop halfway. Okay, But always stop and rest on something and do halfway. You don't have to go down. Those of you who like to go down, slowly, slowly, slowly. And again, blocks, really helpful. Tucking the chin in, so we have this bandha here, chin lock. And if you want to do the mula bandha, the base lock, it's the muscles that you use when you want to stop peeing, for women anyway. Engage those muscles. And just lowering down and pausing there for a moment. So wherever you feel comfortable, okay? I wouldn't be too ambitious. And seeing if you just enjoy that forward bend. It's soothing, it's calming, quietening. It's meant to help depression, low mood. Gives a sense of safety and security. And there we go. Just breathing in and out and enjoying that pose. Trikonasana, the forward bend, standing forward bend. And then if you're okay there, you can clasp the hands at the back, familiar clasp, and just lift them up to Trikonasana. So we've got a triangle between the legs and between the arms. Dwi is two in Sanskrit, Trikona, two angled pose. Chin tucked in, base lock. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. If it's too much, bend the knees, you know. Be kind to your body. You've only got this one body, this life. Okay. And that's probably enough. So lowering the hands down, up along the backs of the legs. Okay. And then bend the knees to come up. I always suggest bend the knees to come up because we don't want to hinge from the lower back. That could really damage the discs of the lower back, put too much strain on them. And we don't know, some of you might not know how strong they are yet. So use the thighs to push up, 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 up. Stretch out, okay? Nice long stretch. Look up to the heavens. Lower the shoulders, but stretch the fingers. Look up if you can, tilting the head back. And then going back into a back arch, either a back arch with the hands up, or if you want to play absolutely safe, support the lower back arch. Pushing the pelvis forward as comfortably as you can, not overdoing it. Okay, breathing into that. Lovely. And then coming back, and let's do a balanced pose. So what I'd like you to do is bring, oh, she says it like it's so easy, sorry. Let's just steady out and put the weight through the left foot. Okay, lots of weight through the left foot. Bring the right foot up. Okay, if it's not going to stay there, it can be on the knee, can be on the calf, can be on the ankle or foot, or even on the floor. So you're doing sort of experimental balance. Okay, so you don't have to get to full. And if my trousers are very slippy this morning, your foot might slide down. And then the hand position, if you're feeling very unsteady, we'll do the oak tree, nice and spreading oak tree. And this is a good one actually to do against a wall, because if you're not feeling very good at balance, I can't get my foot to stay this morning, it's just sliding down my yoga trousers. Okay, you can lean against the wall. And then you can come away and try it out. And then you can lean against the wall again. So it's a way to practice it. Eventually the arms get tired. Let's see if you can fit in a nice straight kind of poplar tree. Yeah. Breathing into it. It helps to look at a fixed point about 8 to 12 feet in front of you on the floor. And and then breathing out and coming down. So if that was too much, obviously just do that for a few seconds at a time. You don't have to stay up for forever. And then we'll do the other side. So just stand in Trikonasana, the mountain, a moment to steady out. You'll feel that, you know, you've worked one leg more than the other. Take a few nice deep breaths. We don't want to rush into it. Again, have a wall for support if you're not feeling too confident. Okay, and then breathing in, place the weight through your right leg this time, and find somewhere along your right leg that your left foot feels comfortable staying. So technically this knee is going out to right angle to the body. It's not here at the front, it's a right angle, but also that might come with time. Use the support of the wall if you need it. Coming up into the oak tree. So you'll feel your ankle, your right ankle, working a lot. Drop the shoulders, look at a fixed point about 8 to 12 feet in front of you. So why do we do balance poses? Well, actually, as we get older, our balance starts to deteriorate unless we actually practice it. So it's a really good idea to do some even simple balance poses every day. And then coming up into the long extended tree. If you're falling over, don't worry. Most of my students don't call this the tree, they call it skittles, because we all fall over all over the class, toppling like skittles. Okay, and then again, you can stay for a shorter time, for a minute, 2 minutes if you want. Breathing out, coming down. Oh, sorry, I didn't teach you with the other leg that you can also do namaste in the tree. Okay, and releasing and coming down. So if some of you are thinking, well, that's really, really tricky, that's a balance pose. You could do the tree with your leg raised off the ground, attached anywhere, but not much weight going through it. Okay, so then you can still, you know, if you topple, you can put the foot down. You can do it against a wall so that you're only an inch or two off the wall, so you can lean back against the wall if you're feeling like you're going to topple. Okay, good, let's come down and do twists. So if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, if it's going to take you ages to get up, sit on a chair. Okay, so we're coming down and we've got the feet forward. And we've only actually got a few more minutes to go, so I'd love to do a twist with you before we finished. And what I'd like you to do is lengthen up from the crown of the head upwards, nice and long. Okay, I'm wiggling my toes at you. And then take your left hand and place it on the outside of the right knee. And take your right hand round the back, lengthen up. So we're lengthening up, so again, hips to rib cage, there's enough space for those internal organs. And if you feel, no, they're still squashed, lengthen up properly. Okay, and you can even pull your sitting muscles back. Okay, so lengthening up, really lengthen up, keep that length. Left hand to the outside of right knee, right hand round the back or onto a block round the back. Okay, oh, my shoulders have gone up, shoulders down. And then breathing out, turn from the pelvis and waist. Breathe in, lengthen up. Breathe out, turn a bit more. Breathe in, lengthen up. Breathe out, turn a bit more. Okay, so this is really good for internal organs and for the spinal column and the muscles and soft tissue in the torso. So once we get to our maximum twist that feels comfortable, breathing into it, but remembering not to collapse in the abdominal area. And check also, if you could, that the chin isn't rising up to the heavens, that it's comfortable, the back of the neck is nice and open and long. So you're breathing into it. So this can be done seated on a firm sofa with space behind you, or on a chair. You can hold on, sit sideways on the chair, hold on to the chair back, and twist. Okay, breathing out, coming to the front. Breathing in, lifting again, because we're probably scrunched up a little. And then breathing out, keeping a lift. Breathing out, right hand to left knee, left hand around the back. It's a staff, it's supporting to keep that torso nice and upright. And then again, no chin up. Breathing out, turn a little, breathe in, lengthen up. Breathing out, turn a little, breathe in, lengthen up. Breathe out, turn a little. And breathing into that. Okay. Turning a little bit more around, see how that is. A bit of an extra, little tiny movement. And then breathing out, coming round to the front. Breathing in again, lifting, 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 lifting. And then imagine this time there's a bar here. We want to get our rib cage up and over it. So up and over. Now, you might think I can't get anywhere near my feet. I'll do it sideways on so you can see. So when you go up and over, you can bend the knees a little if that's comfortable. And if you've got really long legs and your feet are over there, you're not going to get there. So you can comfortably go somewhere on the legs. You could gently see if you could straighten out the legs. And if you have lower back problems, this is actually prohibited if this area is bulging outwards, so you've got bulging discs. So actually you should really stay just here, doing the nice long bit. For those of you who know the lower back is actually doing fine, can come down, lower down. And remember, you don't have to, if it hurts, have straight legs, straight knees. And breathing into that. Again, lovely, this is the seated forward bend, nice and comfortable. And staying in it just as long as it's comfortable. And then sliding the hands up. Position the hands behind you. You've got various hand positions for this. So whichever one works for you. It could be hands forward, which is the sort of traditional position. It could be fists, it could be hands out to the side, or even hands going backwards, okay? So just have a feel which one you want to do. And then going up into the reverse plank. And the head goes back, but not all the way back. So the crown of the head, technically, and the tailbone and the feet are in line. And it's quite hard, flat weight going through the arms and the wrists, so we're not staying very long. Breathe out and come down. Just roll into kneeling if you can. We'll do upright kneeling. Okay, and from upright kneeling, we're going to do, because we did quite a long forward bend there, another bit of a back bend. This is the counter pose. Okay. At any point you're feeling dizzy, comfortably move and sit down or lie down. And then release. And then just to finish, we're going to relax in Shavasana. So remember, you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Knees bent, or legs 2 to 3 feet apart. Just enough to feel that you're letting the body completely let go. Chin towards the chest, back and neck open. Shoulders away from the ears and the head. Arms upwards about a foot, foot and a half from the hips. And feel as though you've really let go into the earth, sinking into the earth. And just breathing for a moment. Nothing to do, just being. And the body absorbing the benefits of our practice. And of course, that has a knock-on effect emotionally and mentally. And then you can stay there. I'm going to end the recording, but you can stay there. You might want to listen to how you get out of the pose, but it's very easy. Those who want to finish, we bend the knees, we roll over onto one side, and we come up. So I hope you enjoyed that today. I thought that went very quickly, and hopefully we'll do a practice session again tomorrow.